The Garden of Wilted Roses. Isabella and Ricardo loved each other with the intensity of the first bloom of spring. Their romance had blossomed within the walls of the old family estate, a place where climbing roses adorned the stone walls and the air was perfumed with their sweet fragrance. Ricardo, the foreman's son, and Isabella, the heiress of the estate, defied the social barriers that separated them with their love. They swore eternal love under the rose-covered arbor, a silent testament to their promises. But their happiness was a delicate flower in a garden full of thorns. Sophia, Isabella's cousin, a woman of cold beauty and boundless ambition, had always coveted her cousin's position and wealth. Secretly, she harbored a bitter resentment towards Isabella and an obsessive desire for Ricardo. With cunning and cruelty, Sophia wove a web of lies and deceit. She sowed doubts in Isabella's father's mind about Ricardo's loyalty, insinuating that he was only seeking to rise socially through his daughter. At the same time, she manipulated Ricardo, making him believe that Isabella secretly despised him for his humble origins and mocked his dreams. The seeds of distrust germinated quickly. Ricardo's glances towards Isabella turned cold and accusatory. Isabella's words, full of love and confusion, were met with skepticism and resentment. The garden of their love began to wither, petal by petal, under the shadow of Sophia's intrigues. One stormy night, Sophia orchestrated an encounter where Ricardo discovered a false letter, skillfully written to appear as if Isabella had written it, where she mocked him and confessed her secret engagement to a wealthy landowner in the region. Ricardo's heart shattered. Betrayal consumed him, drowning out the memories of the happy moments he had shared with Isabella. Filled with pain and rage, Ricardo disappeared from the estate at dawn, leaving behind only a brief and bitter note where he declared his hatred and his desire never to see her again. Isabella, bewildered and heartbroken, desperately sought an explanation, unaware of the dark hand that had sown the discord. Years passed. Isabella lived secluded on the estate, tending the rose garden that now painfully reminded her of her lost love. Joy had withered from her face, replaced by a perennial sadness. Ricardo, for his part, had forged a new life far away, becoming a prosperous but hardened man consumed by resentment. However, the memory of Isabella and the bitterness of her supposed betrayal continued to beat within him. One day, a letter arrived in Isabella's hands. It was from an old servant, repentant on her deathbed, confessing the truth about Sophia's manipulations and revealing the existence of the false letter. The veil of lies was lifted, exposing the cruel betrayal that had destroyed their love. Rage and the desire for revenge awakened in Isabella's heart, dormant for years under the weight of grief. She was no longer the naive and love-struck young woman. Betrayal had hardened her, planting a dark seed in her soul. She decided to seek out Ricardo. She found him at a horse auction in a distant town. Upon seeing him, her heart beat with a mixture of old love and cold resentment. Ricardo, recognizing her, felt a chill run down his spine. Isabella's beauty had faded, but her eyes now shone with an unknown intensity. Isabella approached him with a chilling serenity. "Ricardo," she said, her voice as soft as silk but with an edge of steel, "I have come to show you the roses that Sophia withered in our garden." With each word, with each detail of the servant's confession, Ricardo's face paled. The truth struck him with the force of lightning. He had spent years nurturing a hatred based on a lie, while the real culprit remained unpunished. Remorse and fury seized him. The image of Isabella suffering in solitude tormented him. Together, Isabella and Ricardo, now united by the pain of betrayal and a burning desire for justice, plotted their revenge against Sophia. They returned to the estate, where Sophia now enjoyed the position and wealth she had stolen. The confrontation was inevitable. Isabella revealed the truth before everyone, showing the irrefutable evidence of Sophia's manipulation. The scandal shook the family and the community. Isabella and Ricardo's revenge was not bloody, but meticulous and devastating. They exposed Sophia's true nature, her boundless ambition and her cruelty. They isolated her, stripping her of her social standing and prestige. They left her alone, withering in the same solitude she had inflicted upon them. In the end, Isabella and Ricardo found themselves together again in the rose garden. The original roses had long since dried up, but Isabella had planted new rose bushes, stronger and more resilient. Their love, though marked by the scar of betrayal, had the opportunity to bloom again, nurtured by truth and justice. Revenge had given them closure, but the true garden they needed to cultivate was that of mutual trust and forgiveness. End.